Tonight, accusations of a humanitarian crisis at Rikers Island. According to elected officials and lawyers who witnessed what they describe as catastrophic conditions in one of the country's most notorious jail complexes.
It's one of the most dreadful places I've ever been.
Did you feel like a human being in there?
No. Once you go through that door, you are an animal. They treat you like an animal.
Reports of people packed into cells without toilets, standing in feces, no regular access to food and medical care.
Did you witness violence?
Yes.
Did you witness riots?
Yes.
NBC News spoke to this man on the day he was released from Rikers. He asked to remain anonymous for fear of retaliation.
I was scared because if someone got to put a sheet around their neck, try to hang it up in a cell to get attention from an officer.
You saw a fellow inmate try to hang himself.
Yes.
Tomas Carlo, Javier Velasco.
11 people have died in custody this year, almost half by suicide. Conditions drawing outrage from New York politicians, like New York Assemblyperson Jessica Gonzalez Rojas, who was among a group of officials who recently visited the jail.
We saw dozens of people in cells, laying on the floor, without access to clean bathrooms, clean running water, food, and most traumatically, I witnessed an attempted suicide. Rikers Island is a death sentence.
Part of the problem, an historic staffing shortage. According to a recent lawsuit from the city of New York against the Court Officers Benevolent Association, officer absences have increased a staggering 215% this year compared to 2019. The city has since pulled the suit, but a spokesperson for the Department of Corrections says about a third of officers are unable to work with people in custody each day.
What it means is that there's no one to actually run the jails.
Public Defender Alice Fontier helped organize the tour for elected officials.
People have to get off the island. There's no other immediate fix. More people are going to die.
In a statement to NBC News, the Department of Corrections saying in part, quote, the conditions described by elected officials have improved dramatically. Conditions like overcrowding and unacceptable waits were ameliorated. We still have a ways to go when it comes to fixing our overall staffing shortage, but we are seeing a steady flow of officers returning to work. But just on Friday, the Union for Jail Officers sounding the alarm.
We have been dealing with an unprecedented staffing crisis, forcing hundreds of officers to work 25 hours or more without meals and rest.
Meanwhile, the prison population once again swelling. Lawyers say the majority of those incarcerated simply could not afford bail.
I want to tell you about one person that I saw and what they were doing to him. They had brought this man to the unit, but I guess it was full. So they locked him inside a shower. Nobody could come up with $250 in his family to pay that amount of bail to get him out.
New York City has a plan to close Rikers, but the jail won't shut its doors until 2026. Advocates say reform needs to happen now. But for many people experiencing the crisis firsthand,
It's terrible. It's terrible. I wouldn't wish it on nobody.
All right, Dasha Burns joins us now. Dasha, a lot of people who may be watching this may be surprised about the actual prison population at Rikers right now. And you've learned something from your legal sources?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Tom. This is an important point that often gets overlooked. The vast majority of the population on Rikers Island, they are pre-trial, which means they have not been convicted of a crime. They are sitting there awaiting their day in court, many of them just because they could not afford bail. And the courts are backed up because of the pandemic, so that is taking even longer than it normally would. And we have lawyers saying that they have clients who have posted bail, but those releases are also getting delayed because of the shortage of officers, Tom.
Dasha Burns tonight shining a light on those horrific conditions there at Rikers. Dasha, thank you for that.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.